What's good, y'all? It's Lucious again, and I'm going to be doing part two right now to Sex in America. Um, Man, I really appreciate everyone sharing this video and stuff. I've been noticing the increase in views, so man, I really appreciate you guys really sharing the video and stuff because I feel like this is very important, especially for those of us that live in America, to speak on because they're really, I'm starting to see now, like through social media, that you're having a lot of people speak about sexuality and things like that, which is great. So, shout out to all those women on social media, especially on Instagram, that do all the yoni egg things and stuff like that. I think that's really good. What I don't find is I don't find enough males really discussing on sexuality on a spiritual level. Um, because I guess I don't know if it's because maybe how our societies has conditioned males that males are all like this. You know what I mean? Even if they are conscious or whatnot, and maybe that might be the case for some males who proclaim to be conscious or proclaim to be woke. But I can only speak for myself, and as a male who is spiritual and conscious and connected to the divine Shakti energy, I tend to see things a little bit differently than what may be out there. So, um, one thing I wanted to talk about is sexuality when it also comes to males and how males need to learn how to be um, they need to learn how to be less barbaric when it comes to sex. And I say that because, it's not all about just giving her the dick, so to speak. And excuse me for being blunt for some of y'all. Some of y'all, might look at this and be like, "Oh, this is he's a little bit too wild." But hey, I'm a wild one. I'm wild with nature. I'm one with nature. And if we can sit up here and talk about natural things, then what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like I really don't get it. Like, what's the whole point in all this if we're not going to be open and talk about these things? And that's what the problem is. Sexuality has been so hush hush. Let's keep it in the closet when the ancients never did that at all. As a matter of fact, they were a little bit even more expressive with it than we are today. So breaking out of the old cycle, the old habits. I feel like part of this blood moon that came in a couple of days ago really is playing a major factor in a lot of breakthroughs, both spiritually and physically, when it comes to certain things, and especially when it comes to old beliefs that we tend to hold on to. Okay, so I wrote a book that's called the Book of Remembrance. And in this book, when you go towards the back of the book in chapter 5, I took articles that I felt were really powerful that needs to be, I feel, shared with everyone. And so I plan to do this sex class really soon. It's going to be online. I'm also going to do it physically through like meetup and stuff like that. So those of you that like follow me on my like Facebook and Instagram, definitely keep an eye out for some of the physical classes, which will be held here in California. And then I might do like a little mini tour in California too. I might do something, do like workshops, not only southern but also up north too as well. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to give everyone a manuscript of the certain things that we're going to be talking about during this kind of sex education class that I plan to do online. So I'm working on that. I'm putting that together because I realize it's definitely something that I feel like people are interested in, and so I want to make it available. And I know a lot of people that either watch my videos or follow me they aren't all here in America. A lot of people overseas. So, we're going to talk about this worldwide. And there's going to be interaction too. So I want to have it available to where, I take in questions and things like that. What I might end up doing is just like having you guys, and you guys can do this even right now. At the bottom in the description, I'm going to put my email. Also, too, you'll see my social media platforms. And, I want you guys to DM me on things that you want to hear me talk about. Because I will definitely discuss that. I have no problem with discussing certain topics. Because what I'm probably going to do is, for the classes, they will be private videos just based on the content. Because, once again, we live in a world that's not fully awake and not fully open to certain things still. So I'm going to have to make some of these classes private videos that will be made on YouTube, but it'll have to be privately emailed to you and stuff. So I'll, like I said, I'll give you guys all the info on that. But so jumping into sex in America and how sex in America is mostly barbaric, masculine thinking. Is what it is. There's nothing conscious about mainstream sex in America. It's very barbaric, and there's no connecting. And the thing about it is that, especially those of you that are young, especially like teenagers, stuff like that. I remember when I was a teenager. I wish I had an adult or someone who was experienced who could teach me certain things, because I couldn't even really go to my parents about any of this because they were super religious and they were not trying to hear none of that stuff. And I thought I was going to be able to talk to my father about it. And that's the thing about us males, like, because we kind of live in a fatherless generation where father figures aren't really around as much or not even present at all. For us males, we really don't know like true masculinity. We're basing we're basing masculinity on what we see on TV, and that's not good. Or what we see in rap videos and stuff. That's not. There's nothing. That's all barbaric to me. There's nothing conscious about that at all. So those are poor examples of masculine sexuality, because there's no connection or no connecting with it, and that's what I want to talk about. How males need to learn how to connect with themselves, because when you learn how to do that, then you're able to connect with your lovers. Whether that be a woman or a man or whatever. Whatever you choose to experience love with. Doesn't matter. That's all irrelevant. But what's important is us males even healing through our own sexuality, as well as women. Women need to heal through their own sexuality, and just really understand more things. I think we do a lot of understanding, but we don't do enough understanding, and that's the next level that I'm trying to bring to the table into sexuality, is the understanding of it, of how this is really a spiritual experience, and also a enlightening experience, and also a age reversal experience too. So you're having a lot of things that's happening when sexual energy is created. And so what my goal is for you guys is to show and teach how to harness sexual energy and use it to create the life that you want. And I mean, it's mind-blowing stuff when you're able to do it. And it doesn't have to always be with a partner. It can also be individual as well. It can also be a very individual experience too. So that's something that I guess in later videos I'll get more into. But yeah, so I really want to focus on healing the masculine in his sexuality, and how to be one with the feminine energy, because that's where I truly feel us males can really get our our energy aligned back with love, because we've been taught to be this like soldier, you know what I mean, warrior, whatever. But then, where is the nurturing aspect? Where is that God aspect, the God of love? You know what I mean? Because the God in religion is not of love at all. I call that the God of harm and death. But the God of love is the masculine that has been lost and that has not been here on the planet for at least over 3,000 years. And I know a lot of you think, well, what about Buddha? Or what about, and it's like, none of these males, you're talking about men who are supposed to be celibate towards their sexuality. You know what I mean? These aren't men of nature. These men are of books and of I don't even know, like, the unseen. They've been teaching people how to. It's better to be a freaking ghost or travel in the astral realm than it is to be in the physical world. So those teachings, I don't teach on none of that stuff. There's plenty of that stuff out in the world, and I'm trying to bring a new philosophy on sexuality. So I'm going to be doing these videos kind of short, because I'm also trying to get these videos on Instagram. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, and I will see you guys in part 3 of Sex in America.